again. I'm on the other system right now. You probably notice actually that the desktop's a lot emptier because there's not as much stuff installed on it, and some of the programs are different as well. Let me just get my mic set up here. Oh, I've got that crackly mic back again. Hang on a minute. Oh, it's so annoying when that mic. I've got a bad plug. Oops, hang on. I had to mute myself. Alright, I'm doing scans. And no more blue screens of death. Well, obviously what's happening is some of my Windows operating system files are on a corrupt block. Or bad block anyway. So it's causing the system to blue screen. Now, what I'm going to have to do, I mean, it looks like the data on the other partitions is actually not that, it's not that much at risk at the moment. You know, the E drive and the F drive and the G drive seems to be, the data seems to be okay on there. It's just the boot drive which seems to be the big problem right now. So, I mean, I've got external drives now. This is I'm on the solid state drive right now. I'm actually booted on the solid state Kingston drive, which is 96% good. So that, you know, as far as writes go. But the problem is, the trouble is, the solid state is only 120 gigabyte. I couldn't afford anything bigger than that, so I can't make more partitions out of it. And I must, because the C is on. This current operating system is on this drive, and Windows 7 is using up most of the space. I just don't have enough space to make the C drive bigger, and it's only got 3 gigabytes of free space, so I can't install anything extra on here. So the drive that I need to unhide the C partition, because currently the C partition where the bad boot drive is actually hidden because it's a boot drive, so I had to hide it. So I'm going to have to unhide it in order to scan it and try to fix it with the tools. What I might have to do is repartition it or something. Find out if I can find out where the bad block is on the drive. I could partition it out effectively as long as it's not in the middle of the drive, in which case I can't do that. But if the bad block is near the start of the disk or near the end of the disk, I suspect the bad partition bad block is near the beginning anyway. That's usually where they fail first, right at the start. I could move the start point. You know, I could shrink the partition down and move the start point to a later point in the drive. That might solve the problem temporarily until I can get another drive. So I might try that. And I know that ATA-C drive has got quite a lot of space on it, so I can certainly move it. I can move the tail end. I don't need to move the tail end of the partition. It's probably the start address that needs to be moved ahead a bit. So that's what I'm thinking of doing. According to this, my page drive is good. That's reassuring. So my D drive is good. There's no problems with the D drive, and that's a relief because I haven't had that in very long. But my I drive is giving me caution messages, which is my 1 terabyte drive, and that's on its way out. But I haven't lost any data on there yet, nothing significant anyway. So I'm not too worried about that because it seems to be okay. I think it's the big problem right now seems to be my C drive on the other ATA. Right. So anyway, I'm just going to carry on scanning, just make sure all these other drives are okay for now. Make sure there's nothing bad corrupt data or anything. And then I'm going to have to go and unhide the C drive. Now let's look at. I think I can do it from here actually. I think I can unhide it from here. Let's have a look. Disk management. I might be able to unhide it. Let's see. So, right, the top one, that's disk O. That is the one with Windows 7 on it. And also this operating system, which is XPA, sorry, which is the SSD drive. The bad drive is XP2B. So the drive that's causing me problems is XP2B. So I'm going to try and unhide that so I can scan it. It currently doesn't have a drive letter, so I'm going to give it a drive letter of Z. Convenient. So I'll give it a drive letter of Z, and then I'm going to go and scan that one. It already has an 8 megabyte start unallocated space at the beginning on there. So right, I've unhidden that, so that should be visible now. Let's have a look. Right, there we go. My XP. This is the bad drive that's causing problems. XP2B. It's got corrupt data on it, so I'm going to scan that one in a little bit. That's my other boot drive, so it's unhidden, so I can get to it now. Anyway, I'm going to let this finish scanning while I go and make some coffee. Might be best to be able to chat up. Well, I'm glad it's not a virus. That would have been really, really difficult to deal with. It's just bad hardware. Kind of a relief, really. A virus could have been more destructive. But hardware that's failing generally doesn't fail all at once. Usually you lose a few files and that's about it. But well, I hope my CVS data is still intact, because compiled version system files, because those are kind of irreplaceable. I think it will be, because it's on a partition that I don't really use very much. It does appear to have got stuck though. Oh, it's moving. Oh, that coffee's good. The sun is up. Well, I had a sensor when I booted onto the Windows 7, which is also on this SSD drive. I didn't get any blue screens of death or anything like that, and I had a sense at that point that it was the physical hard drive. But I didn't want to boot into this XP until I was sure that it was not a virus, because this other XP is also potentially vulnerable to viruses that were written, advanced viruses. But I'm sure it's not a virus now. It would probably take quite a long time to do Drive G, because it's, well, there are actually millions of little files on there, so it takes forever. And I'm doing a deep scan, so it probably will take 2 or 3 hours to do Drive G alone on its own, so I'm not going to stream very long anyway. I'm simply going to run some tools in a while to find out exactly where the bad blocks are on that partition. I have some tools that can do that. Because I need to know where the bad block is, so I can basically format it or partition it out of the used area. Anyway, I'm not going to push my luck. I'll stop the stream. I don't want this video to be too long. I'll make another stream later if I make progress.